Hello everybody, this is Todd from Toad Painting, and today we're going to finish off Grock. So today's basically just all the details and the fur and stuff like that. So he's got a whole bunch of fur down his back, around his crotch, and then he's got a bunch of little, I guess, bones or horns like wedged through his skin or his braided into his hair, and all the chains, and also his face. So I'm probably going to do the face first, and then do the hair, and then the horns and the chain. Just because of how the all the chain and stuff like that kind of goes through his hair, it's probably best to do the hair first.
Are you excited to be painting not skin?
Yeah, I mean, this guy is just some scaly, hairy skin sack. That's all he really is. So, yeah. I will be touching up some of the skin depending on how the fur kind of interacts with it, and maybe just change some of it a little bit. But for now, it looks pretty good. So let's work out the eyes. I'm gonna do a very dark kind of red around the eyes. It's gonna be Seguin base and Thamar black. Let's kind of do a little bit of mix. Normally do is pure black, but since he's so big, I'm gonna try and add in some detail. Like a lot of bloodshot or angry red eyes. So just have to block it out. And also I'm gonna use this to do his nostrils as well. Same with this guy. His whatever twin brother emerged into in his womb or something. Alright. And then I'm not gonna do pure white, I'm gonna do an off-white. So I'm gonna take mouth white and add some more white to it.
So in the game, the twin thing sometimes just freaks out and just makes him attack your own eyes apparently.
Oh! Scary.
He's some big beat stick who just sometimes loses it and just smashes everything.
Grock smash, that sounds very apt. It's weird. Alright, so just taking out. How's the focus and everything on this guy?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. My internet is kind of dropping this right now. So.
Do you have are you on Wi-Fi?
And the music sounds a little bit weird and discordant. Could just be the cheap headphones.
It's
I've heard this song before and I know it's not really like this, so I don't know. It's probably not you, it's probably.
That's what they all say. No. And then, yeah, add a little bit of the bloodshot effect. I'm just going to take a little bit of some Seguin base. Actually, no, let's go for the Seguin highlight. It's a bit more brighter. The other one's is still too dark. Let's do a very thin coat, mostly around the edges of the eyes. Just like there and there, provided that this actually sticks. There we go. I still have no idea where I'm going to put pupils in this guy. I'm looking straight ahead, looking left, looking right. We'll have the brothers looking away from each other, towards each other. I think it'd be kind of funny actually looking at each other, towards each other's directions. Now that I know the history. It's who controls who? Is it the big head or the small head?
The big one is normally in control, but I guess the fluff is that sometimes the little one wakes up and is wait, no.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It wakes up.
This game was also only available through Kickstarter. Apparently, it was too mature for general production.
I mean, it's like weird, chaosy flesh abominations, the game, so. Alright, what color of eye should I make these guys? Like.
Gross, murky, hazel.
Hazel? Alright, I've got. Let's do Trader Green. And I'll add some dark bits to it. So I'm just gonna take some Thamar Black to my Trader Green and just want to have him looking towards his brother. Let's see. And then I'm take a little bit of Trader Green and just do the bottom part because that's where the because the eye, the iris is kind of convex, and so it kind of will catch the light. So that's why the bottom of the eye is always lighter. So I'm trying to simulate that. Okay. Kind of darken up the top, so it's more precise. Because the border of the iris is always just a little darker. Just want to have a nice black border just to make the eyes pop a bit more, because they're pretty tiny. And then I'm taking pure white and just do a little bit on the very top. And we're going to do it over top of the border. Let's see. Right. Just like that. I'm just gonna whiten up that little part just a little bit more. There we go. It looks really creepy now. And then his little brother, I guess he gives his eyes the same. Kind of darker though. Let's try and keep that bit of a dark border. Alright, now it's time to get pure white, which basically just means like a reflecting the actual sun kind of thing, because your eyes are always obviously wet. Because normal people blink. This thing probably may not blink as much as normal people, but still, it's good to have. It's kind of similar. This is why I didn't want to have pure white for the eyes, where the whites are, because it makes the reflection pop a lot more. Alright, now I'm just going to do some sanguine base around the mouth. With the color for like the gums and stuff like that, even the lips. Even though he doesn't really have a top lip, which is weird. It's just like a cleft, just like there's no like downturn where the lips would start. It's just a harsh edge, which is weird. He definitely has a very pronounced lower lip.
Well, he's kind of a weird guy.
Are you saying normal people don't have their twin brother attached to them by the shoulder?
He still isn't even like the weirdest model in this match, though. I think that possibly goes to this guy over here with like the peg leg and like the crab arm.
Okay. Good to know. There was a Chaos Spawn type guy. He's just like...
Upcoming content.
Yeah.
The mother proxy box is really cool. I like the giant pack.
Yeah, well, how big is that thing?
It's really big.
Is it bigger base than these guys?
I think it is actually. I think it's like a 75 mil.
Oh wow, okay.
It is large.
Large and in charge. Alright. And then same as guy just give him
Don't
the...
quote me on that basis.
It doesn't actually matter.
It's here. It's getting painted.
Yeah. Okay, so now after this part, I'm just gonna brighten up his gums a bit, as long as I've gotten the mouth all blocked in. There's some parts on the top of his mouth I can't really get, but I'm not going to worry about it. So you have to look at this angle. It's like a bright light shining down his mouth like a dentist. So I'm not going to worry about that. So sanguine highlight, and then maybe just a little bit of moral white just to lighten up even more. Just for the gums. And since it's, well, a wet area, I'm just going to probably do pretty high contrast and not much blending, so we do little specks. And then this guy, I think that's his lower lip, so I'm actually not going to do any kind of pink parts on that part. Just because it's whole lips, like they're naturally already dark, so it's gonna be like very shiny, like he's got glossy, cracked lips. Same as this lower part. I'm not gonna add any pink to that. I'm just gonna add white. Actually, no, cream. More white. So it gives it the impression of like darker colors getting highlighted by the sun. Okay. And then also add the texture to it too. As long as I get all the paint chunks of my paint. Alright. And his teeth, I'll make them nice and yellow, because, you know, I'm sure this guy doesn't go to the dentist that often for whitening. And that's probably his upper teeth, I think, not his lips, so I'm just gonna leave that. I can't tell if it's like his tongue or his teeth or his lips. I'm gonna say it's his lips. Executive decision. And just maybe a little more white mixed with some mouth white. Just very few little dabs. Mostly around the center of the mouth too. The light source is coming from like this direction. Is my camera too much exposure, you think, or is it fine?
I think it's okay.
Okay. So then, let's do this guy's lips. Since they're brothers, they probably have the same genetics, I'm assuming, so I'm gonna do the same kind of deal. I assume they're related because they're kind of merged into each other. Maybe it's like the anglerfish deal, but I don't think so. Where the male kind of merges into the female and gets absorbed. And there we go. Now let's do some teeth. So let's do a nice foundation of brownish bootstrap leather. And then I'll go up to yellow and then a white. I think his top jaw is like completely different from his bottom. The teeth are like normal up top, but he doesn't have any lips. And then down below he's got lips, but his teeth are like in need of braces. Hey, how's it going? Kangaroo. I almost said crack kangaroo, not cardiac kangaroo. Sorry. Okay. I'm not going to touch this guy's teeth. I'll do it when I do a lighter color. While that's drying, let's work on that tongue. Similar color to the gums. I'm finally excited to finish this fleshy abomination.
And move on to like 40 more fleshy.
Yeah, I do have like 12 more of this guy's size for this one faction. So it's like...
There's 7 more of that size in this faction.
Hate. Come to hate now. Sounds like fun. As long as they're not too fleshy. You also always change out the flesh tones too. There's some pretty weird beasts in there.
You can do other things in between too. There's options.
Yeah, there's like 5 smaller based guys.
Well, nothing says you can do things in hate either.
Well, it's true, but it's all part of the same commission, so I should probably get a couple things done.
Well, let's be real. It's like all part of the same commission.
Yeah, but I'm assuming the guy would want to try it out.
Yeah, but you're painting like the mercenaries. You're not painting like a player.
Yeah, but it's just like how mercenaries work with like War Machine could be like their own like mini faction, which...
No, you only add like one into like a faction.
But they also could be their own mini faction too.
They're not.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll do this guy and then I'll start working a main faction for the guy. Then I need the taste buds because I'm sure this guy...
I think you have all of them here.
All the factions?
I think so. I can double check. Is it at least 4?
So for taste buds, I like to just over add them all the way up, because like the light wouldn't normally be hitting that far into the mouth, but I like to add it in, and then I'll just kind of tone them down and blend them in, so it kind of like gives a gradient of taste buds kind of disappearing into the mouth, just by taking the sanguine base and just kind of like that. So the taste buds are still visible, so they're not as strong. I'm just gonna take some pure white and just do the tip, because that's like the sun kind of reflecting off his glistening tongue. Maybe a little too strong there. Take the sanguine highlight and just tone him down a bit. Just kind of staining the pink, or staining the white a little pink. There we go.
So you have 5 factions, but you're 11 models each. One big one.
It's a lot of hate.
And then you have the Mother Prophecy too.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate.
Okay, let's do the teeth now. So it's just moral white.
Should have done a special stream yesterday for Harry Potter for his birthday.
Harry Potter's birthday? Oh. I didn't know that. You could have told me. I would have done it.
You can still stream Harry Potter for the first day of school.
Okay, that's Mal's white now. I'm going to use pure moral white, which is the whitest white I got. And for the top teeth, we can do little dabs. Just one little speck of white, maybe 2 on the bigger teeth. There we go. I might go back over with a bit of black wash just to add a bit more depth in there, but for now it's fine. And then this poor little brother's teeth. God, his face is unfortunate. Okay. Oh yeah? Today's the first day for general entry, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there, what, 2 years ago? Oh my god, that was something else. First time, and that was...
Yeah, we went for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. My god. Okay, I think that's the face done. There's nothing else I want to do. Maybe I'll do... Actually, his nose, I kind of screwed up his nose a bit. A little dark streak of saline base. Are you playing there? Are you bending? Are you just hanging out? Are you cosplaying? At Gen Con, Kangaroo? I also noticed I accidentally touched a little bit right here. Of course, it's not Gen Con without spending a lot.
Trying to jam like everything back into your suitcase.
Yeah.
And like 10 people messaging you while you're there. You'll buy something for them.
Yes. Be the Gen Con ninja. Alright. Now let's do some base coating. So I want to do his hair black. Very similar to what the concept art is, but I'm going to try and make it a little more gray looking. So it's not so stark. So I'm just add some pure black and then just mix a little bit of my gray into it. So it should still look quite black compared to the light flesh. And that was Troll Blood highlight, I think it was, yeah. I use this, was it size 7? Ooh, maybe I'll use a size 6.
7 pushing it just a little.
Yeah, for the base coating of this guy's flesh. He's a big model, but I think this is a better one. Better size. Yeah. I don't want to use pure black on this guy, especially in like the top part. So I'll maybe use some pure black on like the lower parts where his groinal region is, but for this I'm just gonna block it with a dark gray. No, I haven't. Next time I go into a game store, I'll probably see if I can grab some. I'm not too worried. I haven't really had an excuse to use them yet, though. But I don't really like GWs because it's not as non-toxic as what I normally use, so it's better for my health in general.
But really what they are is just like a viscose wash.
Yeah, it's like a wash, a paint, all mixed together. I mean, I still want to try them. I'm not in a rush, though. I never heard this song before on the station. It's interesting. Was that a triangle or something they're playing? Little bells. So since this is like a very high quality miniature clients paid for, I'm gonna try and make the hair look like it's actually naturally flowing into it. So I have little streaks. And then it kind of goes into the flesh bits. It's not like one straight hard edge line. It's more of a natural, or unnatural in this guy's case. Next time I start like a Space Marine army, I'm probably gonna try some contrast paints. I mean, start a new Space Marine army. So I've got like 2 in the works for clients, and I'd love to try a contrast on them, but I can't really change the color scheme or the colors in general. So, but
You should do like ridiculous non-metallics, just like
oh, on this guy?
No,
On
next. The thing with contrast.
oh, yeah, that'd be interesting. Try non-metallics on with contrast.
Shiny Marines.
Like that green, the scorpions, whatever. That was a very good.
Yeah, that one's really beautiful.
Yeah, very inspiring. As long as it's not like a black Space Marines and Death Watch and all that stuff. There, I prefer colorful Marines because honestly, they're not going to be hiding from anybody. You know they're there. May as well flaunt it, especially if it's like the fluff Marines, not like the Marines in the game, which are a little squishy.
So you definitely can't put contrast in the games.
Yeah, I know. Oh, did you looking at the ingredients right now?
No, I just don't.
Oh, okay.
I suspect I know what the medium is.
Is like an oil based or?
No, it's still an acrylic. It's just not stuff you want to put in.
Yeah.
It's like what you use in like medium body artist speeds, which is exactly not what you put in your mouth.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of spoiled with the P3 paints where you can like chug a whole bottle if you felt like it. Not that I've ever done that before.
Did you buy the new metallic color or did you skip that one? Oh, you didn't buy new beats, you just got them, didn't you?
Yeah, I won them at the Iron Painter kind of deal. What color was it? It was like a...
It's like a new bronze. It looks pretty nice. I don't know if you need another bronze.
Orgoth bronze, there we go.
Oh, you did get it. Look at that.
Yeah, it's very, like, very dark and desaturated. Like a very, like, old kind
I'm kind of interested for, like, really worn metal. Like that's
actually, it might be a good color for this guy. I might, I don't know. I want to do his chains not brown, because he's very, like, he's a very fleshy kind of guy, and so I want the silver, the cool color to kind of have the contrast. Because he's way too warm right now, and steel will definitely help add some cool colors to this guy. But I'm gonna have to use like a dirty kind of brownish kind of steel, just because of, well, this guy's all greasy and stuff like that, right? So this is how it would normally be. Might add some more cool colors when I have the he's got like a dead foot attached to his back. He's got some, I guess he doesn't have that many things, unfortunately. He doesn't have many body parts attached to him. Yeah, it's just that one foot. I thought he had a hand somewhere, like, no, it's just horns. I'm gonna have to go back over the flesh a bit, add some more blues to it, maybe. A thin, light blue. But I'll see. I'm not gonna touch the flesh until after I've done everything else, and then see if I want to go in and add some more cool tones to it. Since it is like a centerpiece model, so I want to make it look nice. Is that skin flaps or is that hair? Okay, let's work on his face. Let's give him the old Abraham Lincoln. I think he would look funny with that tiny little upper lip to have a hair on it, but it definitely gives him the Abraham Lincoln kind of look. Might be kind of cool to give him, like, especially his brother there, some like 5 o'clock shadow. You always add a bit of cool colors to that, like a bluish kind of gray for that kind of. Add some cool colors to his tones. Time to clear off my brush. Alright. Just make sure there's no paint drying where I don't. Somewhere where I thought the paint hadn't gone to yet. It's always, the paint always creeps up to the metal part. So yeah, just clean it out once in a while, make sure it doesn't ruin it. Yeah, so it was like painting classes kind of thing. I didn't actually go to any of those. I just went to the speed painting like last time. How were the seminars? Was it like basic intros, or was it actually like some good, like, in-depth advanced kind of classes? I didn't really have time the year I went. I was playing tournaments and doing speed painting and things like that. Probably a little too busy for my first year, I think.
Well, I'm really working on pieces for someone too.
Yeah, I had some models I was giving to one of the clients there for one of their games. Who was running a booth there. Oh, okay. So it's just like color theory and like little things like that. Yeah, it's not something I really need. But his face is, unfortunately, the top part of his head's very washed out to the camera. There we go. How about that? Too much light. Maybe I can turn this one lower. That might be better for you guys. Is that better? What do you think? Now it's washed out. I do like getting free models, though, especially something that new company's never done before. Like, there's lots of games I've never played before. It's always nice to check out their quality of miniatures and know what their sculpts are like. Things like that. But I got a lot of free miniatures for doing the speed painting, which is fun. I got a bunch of Reaper, Impact, Privateer Press. Let's make his eyebrow kind of taper off and like have some loose strands. There we go. I like how my eyebrows do it. Couple hair, little ones trying to run away. There we go. Give me the old angry eyebrows. It's a relatively new brush. I haven't really used it before, that's why I can get some pretty good detail with the tip on this thing. I haven't used and abused it yet. Alright. Just a couple thicker, bigger ones kind of standing out like that right there, just to give it some character. I think that's hard to tell if it's hair or not, because it's a board game miniature, so it's not the most precise in detail. So I'm just gonna make some decisions and add where the hair might be. Yeah, I actually did 2 miniatures for Rex for the exact same client. Actually, I did the horse guy and the guy with the dog, the jackal. They were very interesting models and fun to paint, but like from like a modeling hobby perspective, they were very delicate. So I was kind of scared of breaking them, but from a
great if you want to put them in a case.
Yeah, my only question about them is like, how do you like play with them without like accidentally wrecking them? But they were very high quality and nice.
Yeah, they were beautiful, but so delicate.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been so afraid about shipping a miniature as that.
Yeah, when I shipped it back to the guy, we had to be extra careful.
I think we invented a new packaging technique just for that model.
Boxes and boxes. A turboxin.
And gluing things together.
Yeah. Okay. God, that guy looks nasty and hairy, doesn't he? Yeah. Alright. So... a little slower process than I thought it was going to be, but I'm not going to rush this guy. Because, it was like the dog, it's a dog rearing up, it's a jackal rearing up. Hyena, sorry. And it was just like dog feet in a miniature form. It's like the normal like 28 millimeters. So those dog feet are like tiny, and it's only got 2 of those little tiny little points on the base. And there's no peg, there's no slot, there's no nothing. And then it's got those, and he's jumping forward, so he's got those 2 front legs also outstretched way past the base. And so the point of connection on that guy is the dog is like his 2 ground feet, and he's got a tiny, very tiny little chain around his neck attached to the other guy. Now that was a real nightmare to try and put together and ship that. Oh my god! Basically packed it into some Tupperware container and glued it to the top So we unscrew the
And
Tupperware
then
top.
did all the void filling inside the Tupperware container.
Yeah, so you pack Tupperware full of like paper towel, hot glue the model to the top, and then yeah, and then did a little pray to the miniature gods. Yeah, I saw their. I think it was them I saw the year I went, and yeah, they have some very amazing like box art and miniatures they've done. Like I'm quite impressed. But they're a European country, a company. I'm not sure.
It is a good example, though, of how having painted miniatures in these cells here.
Yes. Well, they also have very amazing. It looks like it's all traditional too, sculpted. Could be wrong, but from what I saw,
I bet you it's blend. I bet you it's like.
Well, Kingdom Death does also
traditional
a blend.
Sculpted, scanned, refined.
That's what Kingdom Death does, doesn't it? Like the gambler guy. What's his name? Was it the gambler's name? The guy with the giant.
Yeah.
He's like the world of human bodies on his neck. He's an orb of human bodies. Yeah. Some guy actually sculpted that by hand and then scanned it. Very impressive. Yeah. Thanks, Kangaroo. That was we tried. Nothing broke, which is good. I find hot glue has been actually very useful recently for many things. Like for shipping or casting or putting miniatures onto display bases, stuff like that. It's very fast and versatile, and it doesn't really ruin it. Don't they always? Yeah. No, they're Kingdom Death. We did not try and do that line till like the second or third day because it was so packed. We had other things to do.
I did stand in line for like 2 hours before we built all.
Yeah. Well.
Client, you are welcome.
Yeah, I didn't go to Gen Con to buy anything specific.
Yeah, you went to...
Yeah. I went there to have fun and check it out and play and paint. I'm kind of excited for that, the dung beetle, the big guy. He's like the size of the dragon. My god, it looks amazing. Like, I was a big fan of the dung beetle knight in general, just the small original one, but his pose is kind of lackluster, and then the big one, which is like the size of a bloody dragon. It's got amazing poses too, so okay. Also the hand. Oh my god, the hand. Much better looking. Same kind of idea, just a much better pose.
I think they've learned so much about what they can get away with in terms of poses since
Yeah, Kingdom Death has definitely evolved a lot. Okay.
Maybe next year to the Gen Con here.
Maybe. We'll see how the cards turn out and see how busy I am and stuff like that, and our new location, etc. Generally, I'm pretty fast on this kind of stuff, but I don't want to flick any black paint over this flesh I've worked, 4 hours on, so I'm kind of going a little slow. I use pretty thin paint, so sometimes you can spleck a little bit. Splash. There we go. That's a better word. How noisy is that? Was it?
It's not awful.
Okay. Somebody doing some construction outside, it sounds like. It's getting a little too warm and not to have the window open. I've only played it like once or twice Zombicide, and like I didn't really get the appeal of it. But if they refine the rules, it could be interesting. Because like the models are great, like all the zombies, and even the boss guys and the characters. Like I played one game of Black Death and one game of the normal game. Actually, twice the normal game. It just seemed just a little too random for me. But maybe that's the appeal of it. I'm surprised he's so hairy, but he doesn't have hairy armpits. It's weird. I think that's arms done. Oh, like as in like they're kind of tinted, or they're just like simplified, or there's not the good material. They're like really flimsy plastic. Kind of surprised. A lot of people like painting their Zombicide models, so it'd be kind of a step downwards, step backwards. I've seen lots of people painting their Zombicide and they're really happy with it. Because that's sad. I mean, that's the exact opposite of what they should be doing. Oh, that's sad. I mean, I guess it's also cheaper and more profits kind of deal, so sucks for the hobbyist, I guess. Or maybe they're gonna be like, we're gonna release these deluxe models later on, and you can paint these guys, just pay twice the price. But I guess I'll understand it too, because a lot of people don't give a crap about that kind of stuff, so why spend more when you're not gonna appreciate it? Okay. A little bit of a mess up there, whatever. I'll fix that later. Hey, now just to go do his crotch now. Great. Actually, I'm gonna decide too. Are we getting any of the Kingdom Death, like, Zombicide crossovers? 'Cause I remember there was a few on like, maybe the 2 or 3 years down the road.
There's one.
So we pretty much got like almost all the Kingdom Death Kickstarter for the second one, but it's taken its.
Pretty much got all of it.
Yes, they've got all of it, and all the cherries on top too. So we're gonna get one of those, I guess. I think it was like the samurai lady. So it'd be nice to have a high quality miniature from the Zombicide series. She kind of blends in with the Kingdom Death aesthetic, especially since she doesn't have any guns. I think she was the one with the she was no, she wasn't a chainsaw and the rollerblades. She was just swords, nothing. That's it. Swords and a skirt. That treasure trail makes it extra creepy, I gotta say. That extra bit of belly hair. I've been painting hair for an hour now, Jesus.
The model that never ends.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna finish the hair today. Never know. A lot of dry brushing actually after this part. And then washes, then refining, I think. That's how the progress is gonna go. Anything else catch your eye, Kangaroo, at the Gen Con? It's also new and exciting board games and stuff like that were showing last year, or the year I went, was it 2 years ago now, I think? 2017, was it? What was that, like, Lovecraftian game that different to, like...
Oh, Deep Madness?
Deep Madness, was it? I think it was. And, like, pretty cool, like, progression of your character's insanity. They kept on getting, like, scarier and grosser and, like, more morbid as they progressed. Like, 3 different stages of model. Which was kind of cool. That sounds good. I'm not painting... Why ain't I painting those things?
Hmm?
Why ain't I painting those things?
Saving them going to do something fun.
Were they resin or were they board game?
They're definitely not resin.
No.
I haven't even fished them out of prep films. I think I know what box they're in.
Oh, that's a step in the right direction.
Is that what you want to do tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I might even just do the last little bits of him tomorrow, depending, but it all depends on how I feel.
Well, if you want Deep Madness for tomorrow, you have to sell it.
No, I think I'd want to do some more of these guys, I guess. Work on.
I just don't think you should paint all of these tomorrow. Don't think you'll like that.
Fine. Maybe some Blood Bowl tomorrow.
Like one of the special ones?
What do you mean special?
Well,
oh, like
a
a
special
star player?
guy that isn't on a team. And then I think there's 3 teams, and you haven't been teams for anything yet, so you get to start from toe scratch on them. There's Dark Elves, there's Beastmen, there's something.
Maybe Beastmen? Sounds kind of fun.
I don't know what those are. I definitely know what the Dark Elves are.
Maybe actually those are Dark Elves, because Beastmen are probably similar to this. Because Beastmen are all...
player too, so you can do like the test team on that one if you want.
Yeah, because Beastmen are all the... are all flesh and hair like this guy, so it'd be very similar. Sure, whatever, star player, what do you think? He's interesting.
She's kind of cool.
Is she a witch?
I think so. She's different than what you're thinking right now, sometimes. think she's about the same age.
Marvel miniature. I've played their miniature like sorry, I played Marvel's like card games. They were pretty fun.
Also have that paint.
What?
The Marvel miniature game definitely have that.
Oh, do I? What's it called?
It's the Batman stuff.
No, no. I love you, but that's not Marvel.
Oh.
It's DC. It's I've got the Bat Cow. I've got the T-Rex. Is it Bat?
Batmobile.
Batmobile. Oh my God, Batmobile. The peanut car. Yeah, I've been looking at the Infinity stuff too, because I kind of been playing the Shavasti kind of guys, like the Infinity, sorry, the Combine Army, with mostly Shavasti with a bit of like the AI guys. And so they look kind of interesting. I'm not too sure because I love their old aesthetic. It just was a little out of date, the sculpts, but they had a really cool kind of like insectile kind of design. But now they've gone more to like a more humanoid and more. I feel more generic designs for the Shavasti, which is a little unfortunate. But they're also, to be fair though, I'm pretty particular what I like, and they do have some amazing sculpts, just not my current aesthetic.
There's a lot in his books.
Yes. What kind of Games Workshop stuff do they have? Oh. Because like they have the Beastmen versus like the Wood Elves, Centaur people, Satar people, which I thought was kind of an odd choice because like Beastmen versus Beast Elves.
It's not sick.
Yeah, well, that was the first wave. The what is Warcry? Is Warcry the card game, or is it? I'm not too familiar with all of GW's like smaller products, especially all the new stuff. I like their main games like 40K and Fantasy. Well, maybe not so much Age of Sigmar since I stopped playing Fantasy, and they destroyed what I loved. They still have some pretty damn amazing models. So much hair on this guy. Yeah.
Like, why bother making sculpts like this and then selling them pre-assembled?
Well, it's probably easier, cheaper, and the average person playing. I guess would the average person even want to play this kind of game?
Well,
Probably not.
The thing. It was pretty expensive. It's pretty niche. It was Kickstarter only.
Yeah, Kickstarter only makes it like, why would you do this? I don't know.
The worst part is they had like resins as their proofs, and the resins were beautiful. Like they were so detailed, and then they cast them into this, and then they them pre-assembled. I
mean, these are beautiful models if you just spend 20 hours doing all the mold lines. Okay, is that all the hair on this guy? Oh, this guy's little brother. Oh, so like a theme pack for like their Age of Sigmar like main armies, or like nothing to do with Underworld, obviously, right? For Warcry, I thought Warcry was just like their rule set, like their data slates, or whatever. Or that's something else. His brother's gonna be so creepy with his hair. It's got like the weird, like, kind of like mullet going. Kind of creepy.
Mullet creepiness?
Like 80s kind of hair. Oh, like Necromunda or like Kill Team, I guess. Hard to tell what that's his ear or that's hair. Just a jumble of a mess right now. I think that's his ear? No, never mind. Unless his ear is like, so his ear's up there and his ear's really down there. It's like above his eye here and below his eye here. I guess he's like all... Maybe? Not very symmetrical. Yeah, it's like Necromunda or Kill Team for fantasy, basically, I was thinking of. I guess it makes sense, because... But then again, also, 40k is much more popular than fantasy. Especially since, was it before 6th edition, or Age of Sigmar, Space Marines was selling more than all of fantasy combined. God, that mullet thing is terrifying. Okay. Let's do some highlighting. So I'm going to use one of my older brushes for this. Number 4, I think. Let's see. Do I have an older one than that? Nope. So the tip isn't that great right now, you can see. Compared to this one, this is like one of my newer number 4s, and this is the older one. The tip on it. Plus, you see, I have much more paint buildup there, so this is more for like dry brushing or blocking in. So let's get some more troll blood and add a little bit of black, not too much. Use that as the highlight color. No worries, no worries. You're what, 2-3 hours ahead? So it's like 7 to 8 o'clock there? So I guess Gen Con's basically over for there. At least the vending hall. Okay, let's try this. I'm just gonna use my brush and just slowly go over like this. I like a dry brush. It's not very dry though, it's just very thin and moist. find this method much more control in dry brushing. It doesn't have the same kind of like dusty kind of effect, since this is much wetter. So I generally do this before, instead of dry brushing. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much all like the vending hall wrapped up, isn't it, right now? And people are doing their own thing, playing board games, whatnot, to like God knows what time in the morning. I'm just a little underwhelmed by the hair, I gotta say. Like, the guy could sculpt really good flesh and anatomy and stuff, but the hair is a little underwhelming. It's a little amateur.
That theme actually continues throughout the rest of the model. You continue to see the mother where the concept art is like amazing, and then the sculpt is like, oh, that's.
Yeah. So my brush kind of curls away, and so when I do this kind of brush, I always make sure the curl's curling away from the actual miniature so it doesn't hook into the detail, it goes away. Just so I get more control and doesn't get into the crevices, because I want the gradients to go on the edges, not the insides. Not perfect though, it does get in some places where I don't want it to go. But for something that's this detailed and the quality of this miniature, I'm going to go back and just darken those regions anyway and refine the hair a bit more. So it's not a huge deal. That is a low flying plane.
Yeah, that is so loud.
Kind of sucks doing this part though. It's weird angles and stuff like that, so his hairs. This process won't work so good. But it's fine. Okay, now after this part, now I gotta do the face still. I normally will do the face much better because any kind of focal point like faces and like shields and stuff like that, you'll normally go back and touch them up and make them a little better quality than the rest of it because your eyes naturally drawn to those kind of things. Okay, I think that's the first pass done. Oh, this is not tabletop. This is a centerpiece. So this is gonna be 5 hours currently right now of this guy. 4 hours we're just doing the flesh, and then another maybe 2 or 3, maybe even more than that for doing other pieces. But again, my client is paying more than enough for this guy, so I don't mind at all. So let's do some black. And because the hair was normally like a black with a bit of gray mixed in, I'm going to actually use a pure black for this part, but it'll be very thin. And then let's get another not so good brush for this part. This is a really old brush. It's curved, it's not a very good point. This is just for like blending it. Thanks, Kangaroo. So I'm just gonna darken some. Yeah. Just do a very thin, just like almost like a wash. Just anywhere where the gray maybe shouldn't be. Oh, I didn't do guy's head. Fred, his little brother's head. I'm kind of darkening up the part where the hair kind of connects to the miniature, because the way that most of the hair is performed, it kind of goes down and then it kind of curls towards the tips, and so the tips are kind of curled outwards so it catches the light more. When it's curled downwards right here, it kind of is darker, right? So that's my method. The reason why I'm darkening it more at the roots than the ends. Except for here, this kind of flows backwards, so it'll be pretty light here, but pretty dark here. Okay. So let's see. Get a fine brush wherever I put that one. Let's get a detail brush. It's not too good. No, that's a bad one. I have lots of cheap brushes. Nope, that's way too thin. Looking for like a medium thickness. That one's fine. And this is just a... It's got a solid black line between some, which I think we need it. Right here is what I was wanting it for. Just help thin out the hairs. They look sometimes a little too thick. And also doing this part right here on his face. Okay. Now let's do some highlighting again. Actually, no, before I do any highlighting, let's give his poor dear brother some highlighting on himself before I forget. Even little brothers need some attention sometimes. And I should know, I was littlest brother in my family. What? You make no comment. Okay, let's go back to that black and just darken up some regions. Okay. And also his eyebrows. Add some very dark points in the bottom. There we go. Now this one's gonna be just, I think it's gonna be pure Troll highlight for the next highlight. Or no, let's just be fancy. Let's go and do the mix of Troll Blood highlight and the black. So it's the same kind of lightness as before for the first highlight, and then lighten it with some mouth white. So we're adding some yellow tones to it, as well as brightening it. So not only is it getting brighter, but it's also getting more yellow. Because Troll Blood highlight's kind of like a brown, so going from like a light brown to or a dark brown to like a grayish yellow. Okay, let's see if I can do this nicely. I'm just trying to like pick out some of the loose strands that are around the back of the model, like right here, so it doesn't look like it's this pure black on the flesh. It's a little too harsh of a contrast, so I'm going to lighten it up with a bit of gray over top of some of them. But still trying to keep like a dark border. Kind of helps give the hair some dimension. Or at the very least, to give the black border on one side. If the hair's too thin, give it a bit of like a shadow look. Like the black is like the shadow of the hair. That's too harsh there. Whatever. I'll go back and fix that. That's all of his facial hair done. Yep. Missed a sideburn. As it goes down towards the back, because it's like, look at the model like this. It's lightest here, and it goes down and it'd be darker, right? So I do make sure I do less and less highlighting. And just more of the points. But if I do too much highlighting, make it too bright, like going back, it's a bit like a wash. Darken the region while retaining some of my highlights. I do over highlight sometimes. I've done so much, I know how to fix it, kind of. For these long ones, I'm just doing the same kind of method I did before. In the first pass of hair, just doing a bit of a dry brush kind of look. Very control on the tips, where the hair kind of curls back. I'm also going to do a little bit along here, where the hair kind of bows out. So it goes up and then down and up again. Just in some areas anyway. And now just pick out some of the hairs that didn't really have much of a raise. Okay. Oh, grab the brother again. Always a little brother. Okay, now let's do the final highlight, which is going to be mostly mouth white, and very sparse and very little, just the most raised areas. Where the hair is basically on a perfect angle to reflect the sun, the light source, really. So like the tips of the hair. And then this part. Just a little bit of this area. And then some of this area. Just gonna do like the most center point of this guy. Eyebrows. And maybe the edges. Just a little bit of the hair down here. smallest patches. And we'll just do a bit of a black wash over regions where I think they could be a little better, I think. Darker, like the lower parts around there. Just a little bit of highlighting here, forgot to. Very little though. I think this is what I want. That's as much as I want. Sure, let's try that. Let's do a bit of a black wash. In this case, it's going to be armor wash by P3. And I'm actually going to use straight armor wash, no mediums. And we'll use this nasty boy. Be very liberal in the more recessed areas, and then a little more sparse when I get into the more raised areas. So here I'm just gonna like lather. But then here I'm just gonna be more controlling around that part. So that's the hair for now. little harder to see because of the shininess of the wash, but I'm probably going to go and just do a little bit of more Menoth white, or yeah, more white, one of those whites, and just add it to this, and just do a little bit of specks, a little bit of stippling on the hair, on the more raised areas, in the topmost areas, like here. Just a little bit. I'll also do this around the face too, I think. These are going to help also contrast the hair, the top hair and the bottom hair, right? Because the top hair will have this really sharp highlight in some areas, and then this lower area won't be darker, which in general, less contrast. And then just a little bit around this area because it's lighter. So as it goes away from the head, it kind of gets darker, so I'm just going to a few specks of this. Okay. I think that's officially the hair done. And see if I can get the camera to adjust properly before I end the stream. Let's see. It's a little hard to tell because it's very shiny in the recesses, so it kind of destroys the effect of it. But yeah, that's Mr. Grock and his brother, Grock. God, they're scary. I was hoping to do the chains and the horns, but I guess I'll do it some other time. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow at 4 again. I'll be either finishing up this guy or something new. Thanks again.